What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2, Dose de Ni of the Z&R Chitchat. I'm your host. I'm Z. Joining me today, as always, is my good friend River, or R. What's up, R?
Rivy P.
Rivy P.
What up?
Are you ready for today's episode?
Yep, not really. Actually, I'm actually a little sluggish today. Personally, there, Zach.
A little sluggish. Too much slog juice.
Yep. Too much slogs.
Too much slogs. Slogging it up. Well, on today's episode of the Z&R Chit Chat, we are going to be discussing The Office versus Parks and Rec. Which show is better? Which show is worse? You guys will be deciding this after we tell you why the Parks and Rec is better. You got any final thoughts before we get into this?
That you're going down, and it's a sure thing this time.
Right. Once again,
I'm definitely going to be very running on.
Office-y?
Yeah.
If you guys like our outfits, give us a thumbs up. Obviously, Parks and Rec's based in Indiana. I'm for Parks and Rec, and the Colts are on there quite a bit. So that's what I'm dressed up as I'm meeting the Colts.
I don't recall there being a jerseys day at work. So.
Well, they actually were on Lucas Oil Stadium's field like twice.
Well,
so,
I am.
He's dressed as The Office.
Assistant to the regional manager, so.
I'm supposed to say assistant regional manager. And then I say the assistant to the regional manager. So a couple of warnings before we start. Once again, we're going to try to keep PG-13. No promises. We both have foul mouths, so no.
We both drink. I smoke tobacco, so we're definitely 18 plus.
And since we're drinking, we're 21 plus. So don't drink unless you're 21 or
18
over.
18 in Europe.
Some places.
Cheers to Europe.
Okay, so we have a list of 8 different categories we're going to go over. And the first category, we're going to start off kind of low on the scale of importance, and we're going to work our way up to the big stuff. So I'll let you go first, River. Tell me.
Oh man.
Tell me about celebrity appearances on The Office. Who had the best celebrity appearance, or who was your favorite celebrity appearance?
My favorite appearance. You gotta love Jim Carrey, right?
Finger licks.
Fingerlings.
Yeah. Finger licks.
Oh yeah. I forgot he was weird. I really suck at spot on thinking, man. But there were, like Will Ferrell. He stuck around for a minute, and gotta love you a little bit of Robert California though.
James Spader.
James Spader.
Yeah, Kathy Bates. She was Joe, the girl who owned Saber. She was the mama from The Waterboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't realize that?
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, Kathy Bates was Bobby Boucher's mama.
That's funny. That's probably the best one then.
Which
she was. I remember that now. See, sluggish part. Bad day. But yeah. Anyways, that would probably be my favorite, just because that was just realized during this. So on to you there, Zach.
So for me, the thing with Parks and Rec is they may have had a few big celebrity appearances, but I like the fact that they used athletes as their players, as their main celebrity appearances. So there's at least 2 episodes where they meet players from the Colts. Andrew Luck, Reggie Wayne, Robert Mathis, Anthony Costanzo, all of them. And they use them by name. They're not making up fake names for these characters.
Right.
Which is really cool. They've used Roy Hibbert before, and Detlef Schrempf from the Pacers. This is when Roy Hibbert was good at basketball. And since Leslie Knope, Leslie Knope, Amy Poehler's character in the show, she's really big in the politics, and they go to Washington, D.C. She's had Joe Biden on the show, John McCain on the show, and they're both...
I think Hillary was on there once, and she didn't meet her or something.
No, Michelle Obama was on there.
Oh, yeah, Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama was on there. And she did meet her, and she was like... Leslie Knope was, not Amy Poehler. So for me, the best celebrity appearance on Parks and Rec was probably the Indianapolis Colts. They are my favorite team, and based in Indiana, which we are from. So double win for me. All right. So since we talked about celebrity appearances, let's actually go to the celebrities themselves and the stars of the show. Which of your people from The Office had the biggest break in their careers?
Probably John
Krasinski. Polish.
Fun fact, don't know much about personal lives, but John has been in multiple movies since.
And directed.
And Dwight's character, I don't know his actual actor's name, but we've seen him in the new, it was a shark movie, I believe.
The Meg.
With
Jason Statham?
Yeah.
Yeah, The Meg. Rainn Wilson, who's that is.
Rainn Wilson, yeah, I remember him having a cool name like me.
Oh, hey, Ghost, you'll appreciate this. Rainn Wilson is actually a big Seahawks fan. So you guys don't remember, Ghost is our fact checker / my fiance, who I married at Hogwarts, or I'm marrying at Hogwarts. And she, even though she lives in Indiana, she is a big Seattle Seahawks fan. So yeah, Rainn Wilson is a big Seahawks fan.
Who's Rainn Wilson?
Dwight Schrute.
Oh, okay.
I've made her watch both The Office and Parks and Rec, so she knows who these people are. So yeah, John Krasinski did do pretty big after The Office. He's been in a lot, like you said, 13 Hours. He directed A Quiet Place, directed and starred.
He's been directing shit.
He married Emily Blunt. It's not bad. But my trumps, any of your guys, I have Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt was a relative nobody before Parks and Rec. And then during the show, he became a mega star. He's one of the 4 Chris's, the hottest Chris's in Hollywood.
Didn't know that there, People Magazine.
Hemsworth, Pine, Evans, and Pratt. He's one of the 4.
Nice.
And actually, one of the episodes when they were in London, they went there to film Parks and Rec because Chris Pratt was filming Guardians of the Galaxy at the time. So they actually made the effort to go to London to film so he could be in the show. And his character Andy Dwyer said he lost 50 pounds because he stopped drinking beer. No, it's because Chris Pratt got ripped for Star-Lord. So that's my biggest breakout character because honestly, Parks and Rec, they had established stars. Amy Poehler was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was already established. Nick Offerman, he's already been enacting. I saw on Ellen.
That's Leslie's husband.
No, that's Ron Swanson.
No.
Nick
Leslie's.
Offerman.
Oh, okay. Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman is Ron Swanson.
What was he in?
He was acting. I don't know what he was in, but he was. I've heard of him before. Aziz Ansari, he's Tom Haverforth.
You had what's his face that I mentioned earlier, pre-show game. Check it out on this link. Anyways,
we don't have a link.
It's not YouTube.
We're not there yet. We don't have behind the scenes stuff yet. They don't want to see what we do behind the scenes. It's a lot. even worse than what we do now. So yeah, Chris Pratt would be the biggest one I got.
We all know that Steve Carell was very established before the show, but most of the other characters weren't. But I don't really other than Guess, I don't really remember.
Creed Bratton actually, that's his real name, Creed Bratton. He was actually he actually was in a band in the 60s. I know more about your topic than you know about your topic.
You know more about everything there, Zach.
I'm a fan of both shows. So, yeah, Creed Bratton, that's actually his actual name. And he is actually a celebrity. He actually was in a music band. I don't remember the name of the band. But remember the episode where they're doing... yeah, no. That episode where they're doing karaoke for this Christmas party? It was the margarita karaoke,
right?
And Creed singing that song.
Mm-hmm.
That's his actual song.
Thanks for helping me out later, by the way.
But interesting, to say the least. Who's the character? I really like Leslie Knope's husband. I don't know the actor name.
Oh, Adam Scott.
Yeah, Adam Scott. I've seen him in a couple other shows. He's very
Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Step Brother.
Yeah, he was the older brother, right? That's funny. Or younger brother. I think he was younger.
The
too.
dickhead brother. He was the dickhead brother.
The
Kelly, the wine mixer. Don't fuck with my nut.
Hilarious.
Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He was also in Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me.
And what I was saying earlier about the ranch dad.
Oh, Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
That was celebrity appearance.
You just respect that guy because
Sam Elliott is...
Man. Love that dude.
I would love to meet Sam Elliott. He is such a dynamic character. He's such a good actor. So, you ever seen The Ranch? Obviously.
A little bit of it.
So, on the ranch, he's like this hard-nosed, I'm a rancher. I'm going to take my cattle out and, like a hardcore, rancher.
Yeah.
And then the Parks and Rec,
he's all more laid back and, hippie.
Peace, my brothers. So, going back to the topic, Chris Pratt, in my opinion, had the biggest breakout.
For sure.
The biggest breakout star of either show.
You take that, brah. You take that.
Well, it's not for me to decide. It's for them to decide. And they're going to agree with me, but hey.
True. Up to you guys. But John Krasinski did direct things, so, Krasinski.
Krasinski.
I'm so sorry. Don't kick my ass.
I'm sorry, John.
Don't kill me.
You're watching on the off chance that you see this.
No way.
Yeah. No, he scours YouTube videos looking for people talking about him.
I hope so. Like random little podcasts.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting on to character development. Let's get into it, brah. What you got? All
right, so this next topic is the breakout character of the show, or who had the best character arc, most improved character, best character arc, character development. And for me, I'm going to go with April Ludgate or Aubrey Plaza. So here's why. So she was the most improved character. So she starts off as the show as this quiet, rebellious. She was
barely says anything.
I don't care about my job. And then throughout the seasons, you see her progress. She was dating this gay guy and his boyfriend, and then she settles down with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt's character.
Doing that because of him, I think.
Yeah. So there's that. You see her.
I always thought that age gap was a little weird.
It's not that weird. It's only 7 years, I think they said.
Let's round up.
Round up from 7 to 20.
You got pedophiles on the show.
What else you got, bro?
So you see her improving her relationship. You see her improve her work ethic throughout the show. At the beginning of the show, she was just an intern, a summer intern for the Parks Department program. Then she gets fully hired on to be Ron Swanson's assistant. and then eventually she becomes like a kind of a big. She goes to Washington with Ben Wyatt, Leslie's future husband, to help him on that campaign, Congressional Trail. And then she, at the end of the show, you see her. She has like her own foundation to start stuff. I can't remember, like help people find jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, from a professional standpoint, from a personal standpoint, relationship standpoint, April Ludgate had the best character development. You see her start opening up more to people. You see her actually caring about different aspects of her life, her job. She is open to kids now. Before she didn't want kids. She didn't want to become a boring adult. Mm-hmm. And when she was giving birth to her kids, you see her have this makeup on. And
was Audrey Plaza in like other shows before Parks and Rec?
Before, I'm sure she was.
She was in a few after, I know.
Yeah, the most recent one I know of that I remember, really, let's be honest, is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that for the first time like a week ago, and it was pretty funny.
It was all right. Yeah, it was decent. I really look towards her, honestly, because I honestly think Audrey Plaza's hot, but
it's not what this topic's about.
I'm sorry. But you're just talking about it and going on and on. I just need to get to mine, and just blow you out of the water.
All right. So who's the breakout character or character improvement on your show on The Office?
Wow, there's so many. On this day, last year, I'm trying to get into like a Michael Scott type of thing, but I'm not that genius. But we see Michael go through many transitions as his whatever disorder of a life that he brings to his job goes. However, it made the show at the beginning for sure. He definitely changed, but his arc ended, quick. He found the love of his life, and he moved on. So we see like other characters like Jim and Pam and how they go through being this weird, like, not right couple and becoming a married couple with 2 kids. And then we get into, I'm surprised they never got together in real life. It's kind of...
Got the who?
They got together in real life.
Oh.
Because they must have just had that separation to make it work. I don't know. It was really beautiful. Love it.
Great chemistry, though. They had great chemistry.
At first, and then we get into the later seasons, and it seems, But, that's love, But anyways, that's a very good character arc in the series. We got Dwight, and how he's a very he's honestly my go-to, and he's my guy, is Dwight. Because we see him as a high-strung,
office employee.
He wants to be more than he is type of thing, and then he gets into pranking and stuff because Jim's doing it to him, and then we see him develop socially, honestly, from being a farm boy,
beet farmer,
unstrung,
Amish beet farmer. That
obviously he knows everything about survival, but he we see him go from, a little bit dissociative. There's a psychological word, but he's not socially used to the environment that he's in. But we see him, develop, and he ends up marrying another one of the characters in the show, Andrea. Real actor name, please. Holy shit, River.
I don't know that one, but I do know that her and Jenna Fisher, Pam, are best friends in real life.
That's dope. That's funny that they have that
I also know that
moral thing in the show.
John Krasinski and B.J. Novak, who plays Ryan,
right?
They went to high school together.
And B.J. Novak actually directs the show.
Yeah,
and he's part of it.
They went to high school together.
Huh?
Yeah, they went to high school together.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's probably where John, kind of got his little break from. And
Maybe.
He started doing what BJ does,
I hate Ryan Howard. I don't like his character at all.
Ryan, yeah, I like him in the beginning seasons because he's just an intern. He gets that, he's faced with Michael Scott and his greatness, and he just doesn't know what to do. And
Poor Toby.
I know. I love Toby. He should be in a movie. Something about a serial killer.
Speaking of serial killers, did you hear there's the theory going around that he was actually the Scranton Strangler?
Yeah, I know. That is a theory. And that's what I was getting at by saying serial killer.
Yeah, so
Funny enough.
if you haven't seen it, I'm sure if you guys are watching this video, you have. But there are a couple theories about who the Scranton Strangler was. Even though there's a whole thing like Toby convicts him, or he's part of the jury that convicts the guy and all that. Some people think it's actually either Toby, because we don't hear about the Strangler and throughout his time in Costa Rica. Because remember, he leaves to go to Costa Rica. Or Gabe.
Gabe?
Yeah, big, tall, weird looking
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah. He's the other popular one. Creed, he does some funky stuff, but that's a little too obvious for him being.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
No.
He's just in it for the money, That's his whole goal. Have a stable job to cover up his other side businesses.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I relate the most to Creed.
So, if you had to choose one breakout character, who would you pick? Because you named
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight. I'll give you Dwight. And I'm gonna stick with April. April Ludgate.
All right.
Who parties harder? That's
And
topic.
that includes Event's Throne.
Topic number 4. Four. Whichever way you want to do it. Which show parties harder? Parks and Rec or The Office?
I mean, your turn.
So
Paper, scissors for it, bro.
4. No, if we're first off, we have to define what we mean by parties harder. Like, who gets the most messed up, or who has the most fun? Because you can still have fun at. So, like, for example, I have
That's
like
always my major dilemma in life.
like I have the Harvest Festival. It's like this big festival that helps Pawnee, Indiana, do their thing, get their money back.
It's socially greater.
It is a bigger event, but this is like a county fair. You don't really see anyone getting toasted. So there's that. There are scenes at this bar called the Snake Hole Lounge. There's one episode in particular I love. This is probably my favorite GIF ever. Is they're all drinking the snake juice that Tom Haverforth invented, and you just see Ron at the end because they're talking to all of them. You just see Ron has this little hat on.
Ron, that also led into a little downhill part of the story where he told them if he gets this fucked up, he's going to find his ex-wife or whatever. And, oh no, it's just when they get together. Actually, totally wrong. So, something else I'm totally wrong about. What's the redhead chick's name on The Office? Can't think of her name.
The secretary?
No, she's...
Meredith. You're talking about Meredith.
Meredith?
Yeah.
Who's Meredith?
She's the one that Michael hits with her car.
Yeah. Okay, Meredith. Right. She knows how to party. She always gets super fucked up. Anything that they throw, spikes things, she's all about that. And she also has sex a lot, doesn't she?
Well,
Bad comparison, but she knows how to hold a party together.
If you're going with
Going with
that,
that.
though, going back to Ron Swanson, he literally all you ever see him drink is whiskey. That's all you ever see him drink.
Because he's a man.
Okay, well, yeah, he's a manly man.
That's what men do.
Yeah.
Drink whiskey and drink beer.
But you never see him hungover or anything. So the episode I'm talking about where they all drink the snake juice from when Ron's dancing, whatever. The next day, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so sick. Oh, I'm so hungover." And so Ron comes walking through. Here's a burger. Here's a burger. So he got so messed up, he was dancing with a little hat on. And then the next day, he's perfectly fine. And he was on. Ron was actually on a talk show, and someone called in, and he said, "I never get hungover."
You know who else does that? I feel like on The Office. Robert California. Was that night he threw the house party and they drank all that really expensive old wine and they all got real messed up? The last two standing, I'm pretty sure it calls to him being all perfectly suited up and not recollecting or paying attention to anything and paying attention about work, because Robert California is a businessman.
He is a businessman.
He ran that show. I preferred him over Will Ferrell. You know, honestly, Andy, he made me so mad on that show.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, Andy.
And he came in around the time of Hangover, too, didn't he?
I think he actually, I don't know if this is fact or not, but I'm going to speculate that he got his part front in the Hangover because of
And when he was gone for
Office.
that month and everything, he was definitely, yeah, it probably was from.
So, really, your definition of party's harder depends on what kind of
Who
party
gets
you're looking at.
more fucked up, and that's always my goal. And then your goal is to have fun, right? So,
Well,
works out there, cowboy.
a lot of times they go hand in hand. Fucked up or fun.
I can't remember anything positive coming out of the Office parties. They did the pancake thing. Oh, well, that was just Michael Scott Paper Company trying to make money. Beneficial shit.
They had a casino night.
That's not a beneficial thing.
It benefited. It was a charity drive, and that's when Jim confessed his love to Pam.
Oh yeah, you're right. True that.
And then he moved.
Hey,
then he moved to Stanford.
Into consideration. 8 viewers.
All 3,420,918. Already on our second episode.
I know. We're going places. It's been 2 weeks.
Subtract.
Definitely going places.
Subtract though. Realistically though, we don't have 3 million viewers. We only have 2 million. It's up to you guys to get us up there. Right.
Right. Anyways,
So
me being a guest star here. Party's harder. I mean, your parties are kind of lame. Mine get
parties
drunk.
My parties are more family oriented, except for the Halloween party where Ben breaks Andy's nose. That was a Halloween party, and that's the episode Ron was going around fixing everything in Andy's house.
Yeah.
Just as a pirate.
Yeah, I remember that. Wasn't someone up on the fucking power line or something in that episode?
There was a power line hanging to the shower.
Oh, yeah.
There was an electrical cord hanging
But
to
somebody was up there trying to do something, right?
You called
Or am I thinking of a movie?
You might be thinking of a movie. There was an electric cord hanging down into the shower. And Andy called it shock wire. Because it will shock you and kill you. Speaking of Andy, number 5.
Battle of the Andes.
Battle of the Andes. That sounds like a war, time.
I mean, it's great because there's two very great actors and, characters on both shows that can be part of Battle of the Andes. And that honestly sounds like a really cool rock band.
Battle of Andes. So, yeah,
The
Andy
Andes,
Dwyer and Andy Bernard.
That's somewhere over in Asia, right?
Andy Dwyer and Andy Bernard need to get it together and form a duo called Battle of the Andes.
That would actually be a pretty decent band.
They play ska.
Don't you think?
They play ska music. Ska!
Yikes.
I'm just kidding. No one listens to ska anymore.
We should get like a big yikes across the camera every time someone says yikes. Or oh.
Whoops.
Midwestern AF.
AF.
All right, so we're getting into
The Battle of the Andes.
Battle of the Andes.
Tell me
Which
about Tell me about Andy Bernard.
Andy Bernard, acapella group. We got manager of the office for a time.
I don't think I liked him.
Well,
I didn't either. That's really like a bad part about this whole thing is like he really pissed me off because he like turned out to be like real creepy by the end of it and by himself and poor. I guess maybe he deserved it, but
left his girlfriend on a boat to go on a boat sailing to Bermuda, I think.
Him and
Josh Groban, Andy's brother.
oh yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
He straight up just left his
And
girlfriend.
he like threw all this.
Comes back in a Rasta hat and
Yeah, and then Aaron went for the more the beer's right here. What am I doing?
Cheers to beer.
cheers to beers.
Woo!
Yeah, he really screwed things up with Aaron and like, made things real weird. So they can't really root for him too much, but he definitely started out making a little bit more money than your Andy ever did. So
This is true. My Andy, on the other hand, is a lovable loser. Everyone likes Andy. He is I think he's a better musician.
he's a freaking dunce, bro.
A lovable loser. He helped start this foundation to help children with after school like music events. That's one of the reasons they went to England. It's for that. Andy cares about his friends. He cares so much about his friends. He was the head of security for Leslie Knope's campaign trail, and he spent this whole time trying to figure out who tried to pie her. Burt Macklin, FBI. Burt Macklin. He loves his wife. He loves his son.
He had a falling out with his first girlfriend, though.
Oh, yeah. Not April. Ann Perkins.
I'm going to say Jan, but that's my character.
Actually, there's only been, from my recollection, only one character who's been on both Office and Parks and Rec. It's Ann Perkins. Karen Phillippe.
Oh my God, you're right. Because Jim dates her for a little while.
Jim does date her.
You're right.
And then
It seems like she goes to that, like right after, like then just like she does a guest appearance when she's pregnant or whatever, and talking to Pam. Huh?
Oh, she's
conspiracy.
She's in the Death or Threat Level Midnight, the Michael Scott movie. The movie Michael Scott makes.
Oh yeah.
She's in that. You ever banged an entire bachelorette party? And then he just goes to her, is like, why are you talking to only me? But yeah, she's the only one who's been in both. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And she's a lot more major of a character than yours.
Yeah, she does play a little major character role in
She's just
The
Pam's
Office.
jealousy.
Yep.
Right after she gets that break.
But yeah, Andy might have struck out with Ann Perkins, but he finds the girl he goes with the rest of his life, April. They have a son. They have a dog, Champ. 3-legged dog named Champ. So, Andy, I think, is the more caring and overall better character. He's funnier, too. I think Andy Dwyer is a lot funnier than Andy Bernard.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. Freddie Bernard. Come on, man. Give me something. He definitely did care about Aaron.
Not enough to bring her with him
Yeah.
on this boat.
Weird. Yeah, he's just pretty much a loser. Good topic, though.
Battle of the Andes.
I thought of that one.
Check that
MVP.
check that for Z. Andy
Vote
Dwyer.
for me. Battle of the
Now
Andes is gone.
So now we're getting into the good. The next three
Oh,
categories
yeah.
are the top, our favorite categories. So category number 6, topic number 6 is this our top 3 funniest moments? We could probably expand it to more. There's just so many
Yeah, on both.
classic moments in both Parks and Rec and The Office. So if it's cool with you, I'm gonna do mine first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So my top 3 going from least favorite to most favorites. Number 3 is Andy. A lot of them involve Andy. 2 of them involve Andy. Number 3 is in season 2. I don't remember which episode. It's showing Anne's house, and then it cuts over to the dump, the quarry thing. And you just see Andy dive into the ditch, and the camera's like, he walks over and looks, and you see his like little tent set up and shit. He's like living. He's living in the
After the breakup.
Yeah, and it's so funny. It's just so random. He's like,
We're gonna
look.
talk about when he broke his leg.
Oh, that's the second one.
Oh, God.
But it's just so funny. Like you just see like the camera at the house, and then you look over, you just see Andy dive into this fucking ditch. It's like, what are you doing, man? You're caught. So that's number 3. Number 2 is during season 1, the first season. Andy. So I remember this episode because this is the episode that got me hooked on the Parks and Rec. It's I think it's episode 4 of season 1, and it's like I'm gonna work a double shift, so I'll be home tomorrow because she's a nurse. And Andy goes, all right, because the house is a mess. She leaves, and he starts cleaning everything, trying to surprise her. Then he's like, after the episode goes on a little bit, it goes back to him. He's like, I cleaned everything in the house except for one thing, myself. And the camera looks down, there's like a little kiddie pool filled with soap and stuff. So he gets naked and he gets in this pool and he starts scrubbing his body. And then he holds up this underwear.
That's when he broke his leg.
Yeah, it was when he has his 2 legs broke. But the funniest part of the whole day is funny. But the funniest part for me is when because he's playing music, and his neighbor comes in and he's like, turn that crap off. And he's like, no, it's my music. I'm gonna play if I want to. So the guy takes the boombox, and Andy gets out of the kiddie pool, butt ass naked, and starts chasing after the guy on crutches, butt ass naked to the neighborhood. That moment, I literally cried laughing so hard the first time I saw that. That was the funniest thing. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. But it's not the funniest, because that's only number 2.
Ooh.
The funniest moment I mentioned earlier is Ron Swanson dancing with a little hat on.
That is very him out of character.
It is very him out of character, which makes it even funnier. Because initially, he didn't even want to drink the snake juice because he only drank whiskey.
Well, we all knew in that show when he starts drinking, things happen. Or maybe was that the breakout? Was that the first time we saw him drink? Was it with the hat?
No, that was not the first time you saw him drink. It's the first time you saw him messed up. Because he is such a manly man and drinks whiskey all the time, he can keep himself under control. Not this time though. For whatever reason, this snake juice made him a little tiny hat on, like a little French woman hat, like
A beret.
not a beret, but like a higher class, like fancy tiny hat.
I thought it wasn't a woman's thing. It's
It was-
that like little cone shaped thing that's
No,
on top of your head with
it
the
was,
little dangly on it.
Because April Ludgate wore it. Because they were role playing. Her and Andy were role playing. I'll show you the gift later.
Interesting.
But so he has his little hat on. He's all disheveled, and he's just sitting there. He's just dancing the night away, and it literally the funniest moment I believe in Parks and Rec.
I think the funniest moment in Parks and Rec is like Ron when he brings the pig to the freaking bear thing.
That's definitely top
and
5.
Then he
have a permit.
He plans on slaughtering it, and he's like, yeah. And then like people are like, when he says that, somebody reports it to a cop. And the cop comes up to him,
like, Ron,
and he's like,
what are you
do you
doing?
have a permit to do this? Like, anyways, or something like that?
No.
And he's like, yes, I do. And he hands it to him, and he walks away, and he opens it and reads it, and it's because I can, or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's like,
I do what I want.
Yeah, I do. It says I do what I want. I'm pretty sure. And he's like, this isn't a license. He goes, I'm the director of the Parks Department. This is a park. I can do what I want. No, that's
His reasoning is there.
That's definitely top 5 though for me, but it's not top 3. Yeah, they first brings the pig, and Chris Traeger's like, "Oh, you're so cute." Oh no, it's just like the light bulb hits. Like, oh, he's making the barbecue with this pig. So anyway, like I said, that's top 5, but my top 3 are Andy diving into the ditch. Andy chasing after the dude butt ass naked, and Ron Swanson dancing the night away. What about you? What are your top 3 funniest moments on The Office?
Well, I'm going to blow you out of the water.
So, let's just start with number 3 being the first time you watch this. Spoiler alert if we didn't say this from the beginning or fucking 30 minutes ago. There's spoilers.
42. 42 minutes ago.
And we need, like, the funniest part, like, if you're just watching the show and anything hasn't been spoiled for you beforehand, is seeing Jim dressed up as Dwight. That is the funniest thing. I cried laughing then. That was hilarious. And, I mean, for...
Identity theft is not a crime. It's a
Yeah.
crime, Jim.
It's not a joke. And he's like, Michael? Oh, Michael? They both go, hilarious. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, number 2 is a little spicy. And number 1, really. So many funny things. Like, there's a lot more cringy things throughout the show than funny. Pranks are funny. There was one that Dwight did that was really funny, and I can't think of it right now. And that would really probably take my number 2. Fuck. He got Jim pretty good in a funny, fulfilling way, I feel like.
Snowball fight? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Where he dresses up as he
Yeah.
has all this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a wig for every person in the office.
That's it.
You never know when you're going to play disguise.
It was like he had to get hit with like 50 or something like that, snowballs or something throughout the day.
Yeah.
He lost, like Jim lost the bet on the show or something. That would probably take my number 2. Number 3, or number 1, fuck. I like awkward moments a lot because I'm just brought to that, like Robert California, like, oh, it's a party now. And he drops his fucking
Pants.
swim trunks and jumps in. That's pretty awkwardly funny.
My favorite. Can I tell you my funniest moment from The Office? It's when they do the safety drills.
That was
The fire escape, the fire test, and
and Dwight's like, shh, as he's like torching the doorknob.
Smoking will save.
And he
someone's
gives
life.
Stanley a heart attack. You know,
That's hilarious.
hilarious, Zach, you piece of shit.
I like the going along with that one though, the CPR training, and he cuts off the dummy's face. And then he's sitting there.
Man, he's saying the funniest moments before he even gets to
And
it.
then he's sitting there at the corporate office, like, why did you feel the need to cut the dummy's face off? Well, what's your number one funniest moment? I'm taking all yours, so you can't say anymore.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty fucking funny, but ooh, the sexual harassment. That's what she said. Michael knowing that he is the creator of. That's what she said. Is the funniest thing.
That's what she said.
It's probably not the funniest thing. I'm slow, remember. So, always keep that in consideration, but always vote for me.
Well, you're wrong. All right.
Whatever.
So we got 2 more left. Number 7 is the best/worst character. So in this category, we're going to talk about who in our opinion is the best character, not necessarily our favorite character, and then the worst character of the show. So you want me to go first on this one, or you think you can handle it?
I'll go ahead and go first. Actually, there's Zachary.
Z. I'm Z.
Z.
When the camera's on, I'm Z.
Is that what we're doing?
Are you ready?
R.
Are you going to answer?
Best character of the show, hands down, is Dwight. He holds the office together, keeps it going, keeps it running, he manages that office, even though he doesn't get paid to manage that office. He keeps the show together from the beginning to the end. He's the character that you want to see on the screen the most, for the most part, and everything about him. Honestly, in my opinion, it pretty much makes the show, aside from Jim and Pam. Like, between those two things, him by himself can run that show for the most part. Worst character on the show, man, do I have to say it? I really, really, really don't like Kevin. He ruins the office. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know why he was hired. Don't know why he's there. He's funny. I'm not saying he's not funny. The chili thing, that was hilarious. Hilarious.
Everybody has to get to know each other in the pot.
And he just, he talks it up so much, and it means so much to him. He's like, I do it once a year, every year.
Stays up all night making it.
That's probably the funniest thing. Going back to that last one, I beat you then. Vote for me. But yeah, for a character on the show, I wasn't always totally impressed with him. Well, honestly, no. It would go to Andy Menard, really. Battle of the Andes, I'll fucking just shit on my guy. Anyways, he's honestly, I'll stick with Kevin.
Yeah?
He's bad for The Office.
What about Oscar? You like Oscar?
He's fine.
Okay.
What's wrong with him?
Oh.
Angela's a
Are you fucking homophobic? They're luck?
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Yeah. Alright, so Parks and Rec. In my opinion, the best character of the show is it's Ben Wyatt. Here's why. Ben starts off as this hard-nosed, auditor, state auditor. Gotta slash budgets, gotta do this. You see him grow into this normal-ish person. He shares traits that I have, like being a nerd. You remember the episode Treat Yourself? Treat yourself.
And it's with him.
He buys Batman. He buys a giant Batman suit. Fucking love
He
Batman.
deserves it.
Yeah.
It was probably right after The Dark Knight came out. Thinking back to it.
But he...
Or one of them.
you see he has political ambitions, but he's not over the top with it. Like Leslie Knope, she was my other choice. But you see, Leslie is just so like, ah!
Something's up her butt the whole time.
Yeah. But Ben is more reasonable.
They're polar opposites. That's why they match so well.
Yeah. I mean, they both have the same goals. They just have different ways going about it. And I think Ben is the best character in the show. He's not necessarily my favorite. The worst character for me, hands down, is Tom Haverford. I cannot stand Tom.
Oh, really?
Absolutely cannot. Just me personally, I have a problem with the people who
I think he's funny.
whiny, pompous.
Oh, Tom. Oh,
Who
you mean the Indian guy? I'm thinking of he ends up being what's her face's husband, Karen's husband.
Andy. Oh, you're talking Chris Traeger.
Chris Traeger. Yeah.
No,
the
I
workoutaholic.
I love Chris Traeger. He's funny as hell.
Yeah.
I remember when I first watched Parks and Rec, I'd be driving around work on my forklift. I'd be like, Ann Perkins. Just randomly. Hey. But no, Tom Haverford is, in my opinion, the worst character. He's lazy. He is pompous. He expects the world to be handed to him. I just have a personal problem with people like that. You know, it's, okay, you have swag. That's cool. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? Now, in the later seasons, he gets better. He does get better. Tolerable is more like it. But
he tries to do good.
He tries too hard.
He's trying to impress, and yes, he tries too hard.
He's trying too hard. So for me, that is the worst character in Parks and Rec. Now you can obviously say, well, Jerry would be an obvious one, but Jerry, I just feel so bad for Jerry.
I know he's
a nice guy.
He's probably the best character in my opinion. Fuck.
He is such a nice
guy.
He
puts up with so much shit.
Yeah.
He has a bomb ass wife, and
he has kids, and they all love him. He's a good family man.
I thought about saying John Ralphio.
Didn't he have wasn't that a part of it?
That was Tom's best friend. John Ralphio. What's up?
Oh God.
I thought about it, but honestly, I didn't mind him that much.
His sister was so bad. I hated her.
Yeah. But
fuck.
Henry Winkler's in the show. That's their dad.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
The Fonts.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Tom Haverford is my choice. I chose the more main character than someone who just randomly pops up.
And since you got with your best character, by the way, I held my tongue earlier. Angela is a perfect match for Dwight because she's fucking crazy. She's high strung, cat lady, straight up takes care of her cats better than she takes care of her kid. Perfect. And they come together and they make a normal family after they have a child and everything. And they get married. Vote for me.
Okay. I won't do that.
All right.
Now we're on to the big daddy. The best topic in my opinion. Maybe you agree or not. Who is the better boss? Now, you probably have been watching it. If you've been watching this, I hope you've been watching this. If you have been watching this, like and subscribe. All that good stuff. But you notice we haven't really specifically talked about Michael Scott or Ron Swanson because of this category. Who is the better boss? Ron Swanson or Michael Scott?
That's what we're getting down to?
That's what we're coming down to.
It has to be Michael. Can't be Robert.
No.
I love Robert.
Nope. Go and finish. How much is it left in that? We have Jameson Irish whiskey too. Go ahead and finish it.
I hate Irish whiskey, dude.
It's so delicious. It's 55% of my heritage, bro.
Go for
of
it,
my
champ.
of my DNA.
I was trying to be extra for you, and you go and ruin it.
I've done the 23andMe thing, and most of my
No,
DNA,
fuck you, bruh.
most of my DNA comes from Ireland.
Most mine come from fucking not shitty whiskey.
Hey, look, Ghost,
Woodford,
finally done.
fucking Maker's Mark, and fucking even Crown Royal is better than Jameson.
Yummy.
You're spending $30 a bottle, no matter what it is.
At least here where we live. Not saying where.
There knows Indiana.
Luck of. Fuck, dude.
All right. So going back to the topic at hand, who is the better boss? Michael Scott or Ron Swanson? Tell me about Michael Scott. Describe Michael Scott in 3 words.
The only thing that really Michael has over Ron is Ron's more of a... He stays away from managing. He definitely isn't really a personable manager.
Hands off.
He's a very hands-off manager, yes. He runs that, and technically he has like 80 bosses above him, including the president.
Those damn technicalities. Any government worker knows.
But, anyways, he definitely is anti-government as well. He's anti his job throughout the show. Well as Michael, very for his job. Very passionate, very into his team and everything about Dunder Mifflin. Other than he always takes number one over the company, but he himself, he imagines, is the company. And then he goes on to make Michael Scott Paper Company, and he kind of puts Dunder Mifflin on the edge through the economical.
Economical. And then a mini-me.
Enemy. So, I mean, and then Michael, I mean, he has relationships with his HR and everything else. He's toxic, as he is well for, and he comes around, he does the best for everybody, and he ends up, retiring or quitting, whatever the fuck, I think it's retiring.
He quits.
He quits? Good for him.
Hooray!
That's my jeer. Or cheer, my bad. Anyways, your turn.
Alright. So, let me tell you about Ron Swanson. You look up manly in the dictionary. It's going to be a picture of Ron Swanson sitting there with a glass of Lagavulin with some whiskey. Good bourbon.
Is
whiskey.
what he's talking about.
Yep, Scotch. I think it's Scotch.
X-nay on the Jameson A, bruh. Anyways,
and with a plate of bacon. The manliest man known in any thing. Terminator? Nah. Terminator's just buff.
What are you talking about, Arnold Schwarzenegger? You're comparing fucking...
I'm talking about... I'm talking about manly men.
What it is to be a manly man.
Ron Swanson
I get that.
Can survive out in the woods by himself. He has... What's kind of funny, he has multiple traps set up around his house, his cabins.
He has gold buried.
He has gold.
Of course he has baby traps, bro.
It is unspecified how much money he's worth.
How did he get the gold again?
He's invested in gold.
He invested in it?
Yeah, he Instead of getting paid money, he gets paid, and he wants gold, and he gets jewels and stuff like that.
I feel
But
like it's from Adventures.
It's unspecified how much money Ron Swanson is worth, but there's an episode where he's making a will, and he eventually comes around and says, "I'll give my children 5%." And Ben Wyatt goes, "Oh, 5%? That's oh my!" And he sees how much he's worth. Only 5% of his fortune
Was worth enough to make a guy go, whoa.
Now, let me ask you this question. You talked about managerial styles earlier. Would you rather have a manager who is hands-off but lets you do what you need to do, or a hands-on manager who has no idea what they're doing?
But Michael drove the company, though. They did the best in sales. They did the best in everything. They kept Dunder Mifflin alive. In
how much of that though was Michael Scott's doing?
It wasn't any of his. It was everybody else that was employed under him realizing that he is a horrible manager. And they need to work harder in order to keep their jobs.
There are multiple.
So that's the best management style.
There are multiple episodes where Michael will be asleep or passed out or whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh, we can finally get some work done." They don't have to do that with Ron. Ron is just like, do what you gotta do. I don't like the government, but whatever. And he allows the person...
he puts off fucking complaint calls that he has to handle eventually. And then fucking...
Well, no, he doesn't. He gives them
your favorite fucking breakthrough character, April, ends up...
scheduling him 99 meetings.
On one day. Do you ever see Pam Halpert ever doing that to Andy Scott?
Andy Scott. Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. I mixed two characters together. Henceforth to the slow part.
Ron is not... it's hard to sway Ron Swanson one way or another. It's easy to sway Michael Scott to do something. Perfect example.
I feel like they're very comparable, though, dude. Like, they both have that tendency to not really manage and let the workers do whatever. And Leslie Knope being a very, very determined character throughout that storyline makes it seem like Ron's doing a good job, and he even roots and boos for her regardless of the outcome that it takes forth from his superiors.
Right.
So
Ron is also, I guess you could say this about Michael
more
too.
For his own opinion about things.
Ron and Michael, I'll say this about both of them, they're both very loyal to their workers. If one of their workers, so like there's an episode where Leslie's being interviewed by the some council about some stuff that she did. Ron went there and was getting her back, got her back.
I think it had to do with her
authorizing
that.
They get unauthorized improvements
for the whole, right?
No, she had this house party and she kept inviting teachers from the community center, because she had to cut like 2 jobs or something like that. Anyway, it was a disciplinary meeting, and Ron stuck up for her and was like, "Look, she's a good worker." Oh, budget cuts. You know, when Chris Traeger and Ben Wyatt first got there, they were like, "We're going to slash. We're going to cut departments." And they got to the Parks Department like, "We're going to get rid of Leslie Knope." And Ron's like, wait. No, you're not going to fire Leslie Knope. Partly because that means he would have to do work. Nope, you're not. Thank you, Ghost. But partly because he was loyal. He didn't want to see his friend lose her job. So Ron Swanson's is better than Michael Scott.
There was a whole episode about budget cuts. There was a lot of episodes about budget cuts. And we saw the firing of, I have no idea what his name is. He was just random. He was Phil as fuck. He was there.
It was originally Creed, and then Creed was like, "No, this guy should get fired." Mm-hmm. I remember. So, Ron Swanson's the better boss. and one of my top 2 favorite characters. I don't know where Michael ranks on his list, but whatever.
I prefer Robert California.
Well,
businessman. Elon Musk comparable. Is it fucking Elon Musk?
Elon
I
Musk.
bet it is. Elon.
Have you seen the epic rap battle of history? Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Go watch that. Link here. Hey, chick. We suck.
It's actually over here. No, it's not. I don't know them that well, or at all.
What fucking?
Nice Peter, Epic Lloyd. I follow I subscribe to them.
Oh yeah, same.
Although Nice Peter hasn't really done anything.
No, they have. Oh, Nice Peter.
Just Nice Peter himself.
I prefer Epic Rap Battle.
Well, that's what
Nice Peter.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he's a co-creator of it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Nice Peter did do like the picture songs. You ever seen the picture songs? I'll play them after this episode. They're pretty funny. All right, ready to do this shot, and then we'll get to our cheers and jeers.
Yeah, let's go. I love taking shots of Jameson whiskey. Tasty.
To the ZNR Chitchat.
Yuck. Disgusting. Horrible. Unpleasant.
Delicious.
Raunchy. Fucking just unfucking appropriate.
But satisfactory.
Have you ever had a fucking Woodford Reserve? Have you ever?
I like whiskey, dude. I've probably... The whiskey that I can afford, I have drank.
But when you get into the world of bourbon, you'll realize what quality is. You'll realize what wine tasters taste about, like what they talk about. It's when you get into bourbon.
The only whiskey that I cannot drink is Wild Turkey. I cannot.
What about Red Stag?
I like Red Stag. Wild Turkey is the only one that I can drink. And I'm like,
I guess I've always been a big Captain guy.
God, throw up. I think it's MASH. So, whatever.
Captain Morgan?
No.
I was
Wild Turkey.
Love with Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan was the first liquor I got drunk on.
Really? Mm-hmm. First?
What
was the first fucking liquor I did? I think I got drunk on fucking tequila. For anything, margaritas.
That's terrible.
Margaritas from like a fucking Cinco de Mayo party.
Well,
when I was fucking like 15 years old, I had like 2, and I was like, whoa.
but don't drink if you're under 20.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Cut this the fuck out.
It's definitely staying. That's not the point. Don't drink unless you're 21.
Mm-hmm.
Or 18 in...
Obviously, look how slow I am.
The drinking age in whatever country you're watching this in.
From beginning. Or end.
Rewind.
Slow as fuck.
Rewind. Alright, so we like to close out every episode, all 2 episodes as of right now, with a cheers and jeers section. So we're going to just, one thing that's going good with our lives, either with the world or... in our personal lives, and one thing going bad. You want me to go first? You want to do your cheers first?
You do your cheers or cheers.
Cheers. Or should we?
Do that first, please.
Or should we do the bad thing? Should we do the bad thing first, and then
I like bad things second. Let's end on a bad note.
We're gonna end on
fuck the people.
Okay. Did you just flip them off?
Yep. Everybody, fight me. JK, don't. I'm pussy.
Alright.
Okay, he's not. He's obviously the operations of this. This is all going to cut.
I'm going to leave some of it in.
I hope so.
Some of it.
Anyways, you start.
Okay. Well, good thing going on with my life is Ghost and I have booked our honeymoon location.
Fuck yeah. Where are you guys going?
We are going to St. Petersburg. I don't have a specific address. I'm sure she could look it up. She really wanted to.
Give them a specific address.
It's not our house, so I don't care.
I'm so
Don't.
But we booked a place in St. Petersburg, and we're going to be going. We're going to be gone for about 10 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to round up to 2 weeks. We're on honeymoon for 2 weeks, in the end of September, beginning of October. So, yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to honeymoon.
Woo! Honeymoon
What's it-
locations.
What's a cheers for you?
Well, so at my work, if you do like a certain amount of something, you get put up on the TV screen. I've been put up on the TV screen for like every day for the past 2 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll cheers to that.
Cheers to
Cheers
that.
to that. Okay, so now we got the good thing out of the way. Now we're going to do the bad thing. We really should talk about reversing that order.
I love negative.
What? Why?
All about depressive music, depressive, like bad guys winning. I'm all about that shit, dude.
You ever watch One Punch Man?
Love it.
You
Love it. I love how there's a huge story. I watch it. I love how there's this huge story, such as fucking I can't think of his name. Probably because that fucking trash ass Jameson.
finger pass.
Genos. How you get these big story arcs and shit out of him, and then like he's almost defeated, and like especially that episode where he's about. I watched a lot of subbed. Mind everybody.
Subbed is Japanese language with English subtitles.
Right. When he's about ready, like it was against the fucking Mosquito Queen, and fucking like
Episode 1.
yeah, she's 2. That's not episode fucking 1. Are you serious? Not with Genos?
It's episode 1.
Is it?
The very first episode.
No, it's not.
Yes,
dude.
it is. I'll play it for you when we get done.
The first episode's fucking him fighting the crab. The second episode's about him fighting the mole people. And the third episode's about the Mosquito Queen. Because you're starting to get into Genos at that point.
Okay.
I'm probably wrong.
It don't matter.
Always wrong. But Office wins. But where the fuck was that going? Why the fuck did you get in the One Punch Man?
Well, you said you always root for the bad guys, and there's a character in One Punch Man named
oh yeah,
Garo.
my jeers in life. Fuck. Holy shit. I love my jeers. Shit. Jeers into jeers.
Do you have a particular
That's a
jeer?
solo jeer.
I'm going solo on this one, boys.
Well, my particular jeer is probably
It's Cobalt.
yeah. I wanted to say how many weeks ago it was, but
It's at least 2.
it's 1.
Has it only been 1 week?
No, it has been 2. You're right. But that's the reason why there wasn't an episode last week, is because my dog died, and I don't know. It's been hard. I don't like talking about hard things in life, you know, and that's why I always root for him and shit. It's just I don't take conflict well, you know. But anyways.
Now that
What's your jeers there, Zachary?
I am going to say, it is very sad hearing about any kind of loved animal.
Oh yeah, he's pretty much family. He was honestly my best friend for a minute there. I swear I would just talk to him. I'd be like real drunk and just talk.
Cobalt was a husky, so he would respond back.
He'd look at me like when I would get serious in my conversation when I'm talking to myself. I looked down at him and he'd look at me and be like, "Why are you so fucking fucked up and stupid, bro?" And I'd be like,
"You're right. Why am
you
I?"
know. Damn. You got me there, soul clencher.
Love dogs. Dogs all the way. Hope that's a future episode.
Dogs versus cats.
Should be. You're right, because the dogs win. Just like the office just did. Vote here. Decay. Not a link there.
It's over here. No. I think my jeer for this episode is it's another wedding related thing is how stressful it is to plan a wedding.
Fuck, dude, I'm putting it off.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not personally doing a lot of it because Ghost won't let me.
Engaged, by the way. Like he's engaged, and I'm actually engaged.
So I'm not actually engaged. I'm really confused what you meant by that.
I just haven't said anything about it until episode number 2.
All you people know. But
now y'all know.
No, I'm not really doing much with it. I'll admit that, but I can see Ghost almost every day stressing out about how. Oh well, just today she changed our shoe color because the girls were complaining about what the guys were wearing. So it's like it's very stressful to plan a wedding for those who have done it. Congratulations. For those who haven't done it, it sucks. And the only advice I can give you fellas or ladies, whatever marriage you're going through, is to help out as much as you can. So that would be my jeer for the day.
Oh, well, that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode. If you like,
we really need to figure out a voting thing in the comments below. Tell me I won.
Yeah. If you like what we had to say, leave a comment down below and tell me how much Parks and Rec rules, or if I'm right and River's wrong. If you like what we had to, obviously, if you like what we had to say, like our stuff, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time from the ZNR podcast. I'm Z.
And I'm R.
We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Peace.